These times and days is not times and days of lone rangers. Those days are gone. You have to be part of a bigger mission, bigger vision, bigger purpose, bigger group, bigger entity than yourself.
Hey, this is George Fourie, and welcome to another Martial Arts Media Business Podcast. I have a fantastic guest with me today, all the way on the other side of the world in Texas, Master Zulfi Ahmed. How are you today, Zulfi?
I'm wonderful, George. Thank you. I appreciate you contacting me, and pleasure to be on your show.
All right, awesome. So we got to, just to give this conversation a bit of context, so Zulfi is the Grandmaster from Bushi Ban International, 10th degree black belt, 45 years experience in martial arts. So there's a lot that we can obviously gain from this call. So I guess we've got to start just right from the beginning to give a bit of context. How would you, if someone has to ask you, who is Zulfi Ahmed, what would be your answer?
Zulfi Ahmed, the short little man who was born and raised in Pakistan, a country, third world country, and I migrated to United States of America in 1985, and I've been studying martial arts since I was 9 years old, so 45, 46 years in the martial arts, and I've studied all over the world. I've competed, fought, trained almost every part of the world except Australia. So this is where I need to be heading soon. And I have my organization, which is an international organization called Bushi Ban International. Our headquarters is in Houston, Texas, Pasadena, Texas, to be precise. We have 9 locations in the Pasadena, Greater Houston area, and we have 2 more in Connecticut, and few affiliates in the United States, and several schools and affiliates in Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, in that part of the world. The system which I teach is called Bushi Ban. It's my system of development. I've studied many styles throughout my years, and I'm still a student of the martial arts. I consider myself a ongoing student, everlasting student of the martial arts. But in the beginning, I studied a system called Bando, Burmese Bando. It's a system from Myanmar, and it has different branches. It's called Lethwei, which is the bare knuckle kickboxing, Banshe, which is the self-defense and weapons art, Taing, which is the animal styles and classical art, Naban, which is the grappling art of Burmese martial arts. And then I studied wrestling, Pakistani Indian wrestling when I was young. I've studied Muay Thai, Shotokan karate, many styles. And after studying for about 20 plus years, I developed my own system, and it's an ever evolving system. And that's the brief background. I've competed all over the United States in many different circuits, from point type tournaments to full contact to MMA to grappling to jiu-jitsu to kickboxing, boxing. So I've had a very well-rounded learning experience. I've had people from all different disciplines took turns beating me up, so I've learned a lot.
All right, fantastic. So Zulfi, did all this start? Because I mean, you've got your own system, and you've got 9 locations in the United States. How did that all start? Because I mean, you came from Pakistan.
Yes.
Was that the goal with the immigration, or were you already that far in your career when you were based in Pakistan?
Great question. I already had many thousands of students in Pakistan. I came to United States for higher education. So I was enrolled in college and university here. I was enrolled in Bernard M. Baruch College of Business in New York City, 14 Lexington Avenue. I had a little mini international scholarship. Plus I had an immigrant status. My sister, she's a pediatric oncologist, a cancer specialist for children. And my brother-in-law, who are citizens of the United States, they sponsored me for with a green card. So when I came to United States, I was already a green card holder as an immigrant, but I came here to go to school, and I really didn't have much intention of staying for any longer than I needed to and going back, but I fell in love with the country, with the people, and the opportunity presented itself because I had still have thousands of students in Pakistan, and then opportunity presented itself for me because martial arts is my love. It's my passion, it's my fire, it's my fuel. So, of course, I wanted to be in the United States, compete with the top of the line martial artists at that time in the whole wide world. So I jumped into the competition circuit. At that time, we had sports karate more prevalent about 34 years ago. Very few other disciplines, but very scattered. So whatever I could find, I jumped into that arena, and then I opened my own little club teaching in daycares with little children, and then one thing led to another, and started with a small school, went to a bigger school, bigger school, and finally built and bought my own building of 24,000 square foot, which is the headquarters now. And as time went by, we had more schools. We at one time we had up to 17 schools, and some of those schools are still active, but we don't license them anymore. So they chose their own path. And so make a long story short, I came with the intent of finishing education and then see where my destiny leads me, and my destiny kept me here, and never look back, don't regret it for a single day. Love it, love the people, love the country. I love my students, and I love the martial arts. So I'm a blessed human being.
Fantastic. I always love hearing a expat success story. As I'm from South Africa and I'm living in Perth, it's always good to hear when people. I call it the expat advantage, because expats normally go and they go with a different mission because they just got to make it work. So
I want to make it work.
Yeah. So I want to know from you. So how did you go from? So I mean, we always talk on the show about schools and then marketing and so forth. But I think a topic we don't explore that much is how do you take that next jump? You've created the school and you've got a business. How do you scale to the next level that you can open the next locations and I guess in a way start taking a step back and letting other people lead?
So if a person has deep belief, deep conviction, deep faith, deep passion, deep fire, of what you do, you love, and then you keep doing that, things happen organically and things happen with planning. So you must let your destiny lead you and don't question it. You must be led by your passion to a point where you are willing and ready to sacrifice. And I'm a big believer in faith and destiny and karma, and we create your own luck. So what happens if one is passionate about and they believe strong enough and they're resilient and they don't give up and they are not greedy in the process, then automatically the universe opens doors. Sometimes people come into your life because you attracted them, and sometimes you go into people's life who you attracted and they attracted you. And as long as you're aware of where your end point needs to be, things will manifest themselves. As long as you are true, honest, hardworking, and you are committed to your goals and dreams, you gotta have a dream, then things will happen. Don't doubt, things will happen. When I came here, I was passionate about my martial arts. Schooling was my parents' directive to me more than my own, even though schooling is very important. And I did schooling, and I recommend everybody does get this schooling and degree because that's your plan A. But fortunately, my plan B became my plan A because I'm born to be a martial artist. My calling in life is martial arts. And I've known that since I was, an orange belt, since I was 9 years old, that this is what I wanted to do throughout my rest of my life. And that comes through my mentors, my teachers who inspired me to live a lifestyle of martial arts. And then uh, being in the right time, right place with the right people, with the right mission, right purpose opens doors. So I wish I could give you a more strategic, tactical answer. Do this, do this, do this, do this. But to me, the best answer is just follow your dreams and don't give up and don't quit and keep believing. And the right things will happen if you have the right intent. If your intent is good, if your intent is sincere, the doors will open yourself. Just don't give up. I hope
Fantastic.
that
No.
answers.
Yeah, that's the better answer, because it's always, there's tactical could change and it could be different for everyone, and I think everyone has
Yes.
different strengths in what tactical things they need to do and not do. So yeah, that's the better answer. Thanks, Zulfi.
Thank
So at which point, I'll get to this question in a minute, but where do you feel martial arts school owners are going wrong in their path? I mean, we really spoken about really following their dreams and setting that intention and good karma and goals. But with the martial arts school, the martial arts industry just really at a big booming stage, where do you feel school owners are missing the boat with their journey with their schools?
I can't answer for the martial arts individual industry. Um, I speak a lot in many different forums with Martial Arts Industry Association, Educational Funding Company, MA First. By the way, I'll be speaking at our mutual friend Fred De Palma's event in April. I think it's 26, 27, 28, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
So
correct,
Fred is
yeah.
a great friend of mine, and I have the utmost respect for him. And I'll be speaking at his event. I'll be speaking at many other events, EFC event in England also in April. The week before that, I'll be in UK speaking at the EFC European Convention. So uh, basically, what I want to say is, that the phases of learning and maturity is, the four phases of learning is, you know, unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. So you don't know what you don't know, and that's where a lot of martial arts school owners are. There's so much out there, they just don't know what they don't know. I still don't know what a lot of things about. Uh, then there's martial artists who know that they don't know, which is a great, you know, uh, great stage to be at. And then there are martial artists who know that they don't know and they want to, pursue that, which is wonderful. And then it comes to a point where you know what you know, and then you don't know what you know because it becomes second nature. So I believe our industry is going through that second and third phase. There are a lot of martial artists, they don't know that there's information, knowledge of business development, personal development, martial arts, entrepreneurship exist. I'll give you an example. Tomorrow I have a mastermind here in Texas. I've got like Ken Penkovic. He traveled all the way from UK. Who's got 5 schools there. I've got people coming from all over, and I've got local martial arts school owners coming in who have never been to a martial arts business development event. They just didn't know that something like this existed. So I think once we figure out that there is information out there to improve us, and we take steps to go out and learn, and implementation is the key. Everybody learns it, everybody knows it, everybody sits and takes note, but can you go and implement? So I think one thing which martial artists in this time and age, there's one school, one group, they don't know that we even exist. Martial arts business educators. The second group is that they are information junkie. They love information, but they don't do anything with that. The third group is they go and they take what fits in their model and they implement it right away. Like my friend Ken is sitting here. He'll soak it up and implement it. Then there are guys who already have implemented. They just need reassurance. They need to know they're doing it right. I go to these events to learn, and I go to these events. Let me give you a very honest answer. I go to these events to be humbled. When I see there are people who are doing much better than I am, it brings me back down to earth because we are all kings in our own little kingdom. But when we go outside and we see, wow, these guys are, kicking butts and taking names, and they are way beyond my aptitude, and it humbles me. And that humbleness makes me come back and say, oh, I thought I was this, badass, excuse the French. I've got a lot of work to do. So to me, it humbles me because, I believe most of us, me included, we are driven by ego. Martial artists have big egos. So once we let go of egos, we will come back to earth and we'll do what we need to do to improve ourselves. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's my spiel on it.
I love it. I love it. That's fantastic. So Zulfi, if you had to, because there's a lot of unconscious competence that I think I can't tap into, and it's hard for me actually to get those questions because I think you've got so much knowledge over 45 years that things that are common knowledge to you might be hard. It would be hard to extract all that information from you. So let's put it this way: if you had to start this journey from the beginning, what do you think you would do different, or which path would you go on, or would you change?
Great question. I would get myself a mentor ASAP, a mentor or a group of mentors, or these times and days is not times and days of lone rangers. Those days are gone. You have to be part of a bigger mission, bigger vision, bigger purpose, bigger group, bigger entity than yourself. Because the student is more aware of what the martial art is, and it presents and represents and can benefit now than 30 years ago. 30 years ago, as a lone ranger, I could have hundreds of students, but now as a lone ranger, I cannot compete with a stronger group of people who are united and they have more strength than you. So I would utilize, a lot of this, where I'm at today, I did a lot on my own trial and error and failures, more failures than, victories. And then when I found some mentors, one of my great mentors is the great Grandmaster Dr. Mong Ji. He's 87 years old and he's the father of American Bando Association. He mentored me, guided me, and that was a blessing to me. Plus other mentors in other fields. So you've got to get yourself somebody who you respect and you feel can share with you through experience. Anybody can read a book and reiterate the book and say what's in the book, but the years of knowledge, the experience cannot be replaced by what you read in a book or what you buy in a $2.99 program. It has to be lived, and they have to live through trial and error to victories and failure, and that's the mentor I would get immediately if I could find one. And if I could have somebody so that's the first thing I would do. Because when I came to America, my teacher was 10,000 miles away. I learned through trial and error, and I learned through get beaten up. I would go to these tournaments, which I had totally different. I came from a different background, and I went to do Texas style point karate where groin kicks were allowed, and I got beaten up every weekend. But I didn't give up. I kept going back and going back and going back. So I learned through real failure. And then, if I would have had a coach, mentor, teacher in the business I would have been maybe 10 steps ahead. So that's what I would recommend everybody, to get yourself a group of great people, a mentor, build a little uh, sphere of influence, build your own inner circle of friends and mentors of like-minded pursuit, or get somebody who you believe can guide you. That's what I would do.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Zulfi, I'm just looking at the time, and we're running close to, I know you've got another appointment to get to.
Yes,
I've
sir.
got one question just behind this. At what point did you decide to start your own style and to start your own program?
The decision to start my style was when I was living in Pakistan, and I saw a rich cultural heritage of martial arts in Pakistan, which comes from India, Pakistan, and that region. And I was training in a foreign style, Burmese style. And I trained in Japanese style, I trained in Korean style, I trained in Thai style. And as a young person, I loved it. I still love training in every style, Brazilian, Thai, Mongolian, every style. But I saw that there was really nothing which was representing the rich cultural martial arts of the region where I came from on an international level. Plus, I saw a gap of modern approach in those martial arts. So, some people are creative by nature, some people are tactical by nature. So, I feel that my personal creative invocation, creative longing made me realize that I needed something, number one, to fulfill my needs. And what I was getting through that system was great, still great is, I'm still trained with it, but there was something I wanted to improve and enhance. And when I saw the other system, it was like piece of puzzle. So I was making my own puzzle with different pieces and putting my puzzle together. And that one of the key reasons for putting that puzzle together was, at that time, national pride, that I wanted a system which could be internationally recognized, which hails from that region of the world. And then I wanted to give back to that part of the world more modern approach to what was going on in the other parts of the world, where I was traveling to Hong Kong, Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Nepal, India, when I was living in Pakistan. And I was culminating these information and putting my pieces together, and that was done on a selfish basis, and it grew into be a wonderful system called Bushi Ban, and my student loved it, and it became we call it the supra multidimensional system. It was not a linear system like Taekwondo might be linear, just kicks, but Bushi Ban in those days, before MMA, we were, and I'm not taking any credit, but we were incorporating wrestling with Muay Thai. We were incorporating karate with point karate with kickboxing. We were incorporating Pakistani wrestling with point karate, takedowns. We were incorporating Burmese Naban with Taekwondo. So it was evolving into what is MMA now. It was kind of evolving in that manner, and it was becoming a multi-dimensional system. And what I used to call it, I used to say, this is the tradition of the future, traditional martial arts of the future. One day, people will adapt this martial arts because it has the past and the future combined together in a multi-dimensional way. And we used to say, modern practices, traditional wisdom, ancient wisdom compiled together. So, of course, inspired by the late, great Bruce Lee's thinking as a child, young person, I was read that, and my own personal longing. So Bushi Ban was born, and it keeps evolving because I'm still evolving. I'm the founder, I'm the creator, and I still evolve. And my goal is to keep bringing that evolution and innovation and creation into my students' lives, wherever they are.
I love that. Awesome. Master Zulfi, it's been awesome speaking to you, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in San Diego this year. So depending when you're watching this video, so that's 26th to 28th, I believe, in San Diego at the main event. And
Yes.
and Master Zulfi, where else can people find out more about you and your networking and everything that you have going on?
I love to connect with people. I love people, and I'm honored when somebody calls me. I like to share. So if anybody who's hearing, just give me a shout out. You can email me at Master Zulfi one. No, it's a Master Zulfi at gmail.com, or Bushi Ban, BUSHIBAN dash. It's not an underscore. It's a dash. HQ, like headquarters, at juno.com. Bushi Ban dash HQ or at juno.com. And if you don't mind, if I can put a plug in for an event we are doing in Thailand. I've been hosting what we call the World Martial Arts Summit for the past 2 years, and it's in conjunction with the Thai Martial Arts Games and Thai Festival, which starts on the 12th of March this year and goes to the 18th of March. So in the World Martial Arts Summit, which I run that aspect, we have sports karate tournament, we have a grappling tournament, no-gi grappling tournament, we have a mastermind where people like Fred De Palma, Ken Penkovic, Hakan Manav, myself, Master Kazi Cass, Master Jeff Barley, many, many prominent martial artists from all over the world, from United States, from India, from Australia, from UK, from Thailand, from Malaysia, from Pakistan, from Bangladesh, from India, many, many countries. They will be there, and we'll be brainstorming in different martial arts business development. That's a mastermind. We also have the Asia Pacific Martial Arts Hall of Fame. It's an organization which we want to recognize top performers from Asia Pacific region. So I would love to hear from anybody who would like to go to the event, and you can log on to www.worldmartialartssummit.com, worldmartialartssummit.com, and I'll be in Bangkok, Thailand on the 7th of March till the 19th of March. Then there's another event I will be teaching. I'm the keynote speaker at the EFC, UK EFC event, which is I think the 20th and 21st of April. That's in UK, England. And then I'll be at the MA First, Kyoshi Fred De Palma's event in San Diego right after that. So love to shake hands with all of you. Love to see you there, and looking forward to sharing our information with you all.
Fantastic, Master Zulfi. I'll have all those links in the transcript of this interview as well. Been great to connect with you all the way the other side of the world, and look forward to meeting you in person.
Yes, sir. My pleasure. Thank you, George. Pleasure meeting you, and look forward to meeting you in person as well.
Thank you.
Os.
Speak soon.
Os. Bye.
Cheers.